I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
If I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman!
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, a couple of Bat fanatics proudly bring to you the Batman Who Pod. Finally, the Batmen are back podcasting.
Well, for the matter of let's do a podcast. You give me a damn hell yeah, you little bastard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Batman Who Pod, the Revenge of the Batman. Now, it's been a little bit. It's been some time, but we are here. We are active. And we're trying to bring you the best content possible in a very, very small news window going on in the Batman world. And a very busy Chris Ripsky, a.k.a. Rob, and a very busy Matthew Verneri, a.k.a. Vern. And you know us. If you don't, welcome. For those who've listened before and are listening again, thank you. We know it can be tough sometimes. Rob, how you going? How you going? How you going?
Hey man.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey,
How you doing?
man. I'm fucking, I'm hanging out in this motherfucker, man.
Man,
How
that's
you
a beautiful hoodie. Wow.
Thanks. I got it at Comic-Con. This is the Keanu Reeves comic book, Berserker. Welcome
Man,
to Comic-Con. $100. Thank you,
when
Comic-Con.
is there going to be a Keanu Reeves Batman Berserker crossover? Right after Spawn?
I just got off the phone with McFarlane and he said, yeah, next summer. So
Man, that's going to be sick. Can't wait. Bruce
I
comes
want to
into
do a
the
variant
Matrix.
cover. I never done a John dog cover before, but we're gonna try it. So with
It's going to be
Batman.
exciting. All right, so
Whoa, Batman.
San Diego Comic-Con Fallout, we had that episode. You had an exciting experience. You bought a Mandalorian cup somewhere else while you were out in your adventures of life.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby
What's
Lobby.
that?
Sometimes they just have the best stuff. You don't need to go on Disney.com/shop or go to Disneyland or World to find a great Mando cup.
Dude, speaking of that, you figure you go to Disneyland. I was just there last week again. You figure you go there and I like looking at merch and shirts and stuff because you figure, well, in general, but you figure you go to Disneyland and shit's gonna be top notch there.
Oh, yeah. It's
It's
terrible.
shit there.
It's, you used to have to go to those places to get exclusive stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff you can't find anywhere. Very
Yeah.
rarely does that happen anymore because everything is just online anyway. So
It's just I don't even get the style when I'm
Yeah.
looking at the shit. It's just tie dye and
I was gonna say tie dye. It's all this giant tie dye shirts.
what the hell? And then I was looking forward to Mandalorian shirts or something. It's just
Yeah, it's just our style. You know what I mean? Obviously they're appealing to the younger audience when they're looking at stuff like that, and we're already we're looking for the vintage, a vintage Mandalorian shirt would be awesome. A vintage Star Wars style looking Mandalorian shirt, but they're out
I
there. You just
honestly-
got to find them.
I honestly think the best place to buy Star Wars shirts is Kohl's. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
because they always have those style shirts like that. Yep, and they have a lot of them too.
Soft tees.
Soft tees.
Hashtag.
Hashtag soft tees. All right, well, let's get right into it here, my friend. With This Week in
People are
Batman.
saying right now, what the hell is that? A Star Wars podcast?
This Week in Batman, it's been these couple weeks in Batman because the lack of news is just that, lacking. But Rob, you had sent me a message regarding this new Batman pre-order steelbook of the
Yeah.
Batman. Can you kind of explain this to me? Because I'm a little confused. Is this an extra? Is this a special edition or something? Because I swore they already had a steelbook.
Well, what DC needs to get their money back for Batgirl, so they're putting out a new steel book of the Batman movie that came out months ago. That's
Beautiful.
it's pretty much just a reissue, different art. It's kind of funny because when I first told you about the steel book coming out, you're like, I want to wait. And so, what do you think? Is that something you would like to pick up now that it's different, or just still going to hold off on physical media?
No, I'm still gonna hold off as it's just a cover change. It's actually, in my opinion, probably a better cover, the cover it should have been originally for the exclusive, because I'm guessing they're just reissuing it because there's some sort of demand for it. Um, I would really like. I think you actually had sent me something a while ago too, though. Was like Walmart had a pretty cool exclusive.
You did?
Walmart,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
they had a pretty cool suit that came with like a batarang or something, and I was like, oh, that's the type of stuff that we don't get a lot, and that was one that I was thinking about picking up, but
Yeah, I
my
wouldn't.
Walmart never has anything anyway, so
Yeah, yeah. So that only came up on my YouTube algorithm. That's the only reason why I knew about it. So it's like, okay, this is interesting. Look badass.
yeah, it was cool because like you could use the box art to display. It came with like a little like easel that you could like display it on. So I thought, excuse me, cool concept. It's one of those things you don't really see a whole lot, but and especially for something like a Batman film, it's something that's needed. But I'm really hoping that there is, unlike our buddy Chris Nolan, who doesn't release any of his deleted scenes or anything, I hope that Matt Reeves has, a 3.5 hour edition of the Batman, and we just have to hold out on it. Um, I feel like the double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip is still there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hopefully hold out on that because I do want to add it to my physical media collection because it's one that to me is a staple. So the small collection that it is right now, but it's still there.
I forgot to mention too, so they haven't changed the color in it too. It's still red. It's still red front to back. And I believe it's just him and the Batmobile on the front. It says the Batman. So not even a drastic change of color. Just like take out this picture, put in a new picture. And yeah,
Well,
nothing too crazy.
I mean, those steel books day of release, pretty much you have like one at the store, one or two at the store, and then they just send out the pre-orders and that's it. So I think this is maybe they can have 3 or 4 at the store now and write that out for the next couple of years. So cool regardless. Maybe if they're getting rid of the physical media and it's on sale for like $4.99, maybe if I ever walk into a Best Buy again, I guess just to say first, um, I'll pick it up. But all right, moving forward, there was a new kids show
Yeah.
that premiered on HBO, Bat Wheels animated series. Very cool concept. I did watch the first episode and thought it was actually interesting, but it's basically Cars, the Disney Cars movie with Batman characters. So,
Huh. I did not even realize that. I heard it got announced, but I didn't know it was coming out this year or actually knew what it was.
yeah, animation style's pretty cool. It's cool to see like the Batmobile have its own personality. It's interesting. Definitely be a good kid show, and I really thought it was a cool concept, and I'm surprised no one else has done it with anything else. A kids Transformer show, which I guess they do have, but it's just like it's interesting. Like the Penguin has his that giant thing that he runs around like the duck.
Mm-hmm.
Joker has like some flying balloon, I believe. So it's cool. It'll definitely be a hit for kids. I think once there's a few episodes out there, it's only one at a time. But
Do they sound like the villains, or is it completely different
well, so the
voices?
villains are so like Batman's in it, the villains are in it, but then sometimes they cut over and the cars like have their own like
Oh, okay.
battles and stuff. So
I
and they
wasn't
talk
sure
and have
if
personality.
I wasn't sure if the cars were supposed to be the villains themselves. Okay, that makes sense.
No, like the villains are still riding around in them, like Joker's on there. Joker looks quite different. He's modernized a little bit. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely a different take on him. But again, like, you know, it's a kid show, so
Sweet.
yeah, check it out if you got some time. It's worth a watch just to get, kind of an opinion on, what they're kind of doing with the animated stuff for kids these days. And speaking of animated, I did watch DC Super Pets as it came on HBO Max, where we do finally get a taste of Keanu and Batman together, as he is Batman in this movie for a very short time. You hear him though. Overall, enjoyable. I think it's just a lot of fun. Um, Again, it's a cool concept. I think they'll make a sequel. I think it'll be good, but it's just kind of a fun family filled adventure. And if you go in thinking that, I mean, it's nowhere near as good as Lego Batman, but I mean, it's still enjoyable. It's worth a watch. Uh, there's some funny stuff at the end too, after the credits. So he plays Crypto. Um, so there's some fun stuff with another character he's playing soon in the DC universe. So continuing with the animated series or the animated section of this news. Rob, you had sent me some news about something that we were both looking forward to. What happened?
Oh, they just got in the middle of the crossfire, I guess, at HBO and just got the axe.
What are we talking about though, there, my
We're
friend?
talking about so there was going to be a new animated series with
Bruce Tim,
Bruce
J.J.
Timm, yes,
Abrams, and Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves, yes. So that got announced what last May, and
I thought it was like a Comic Con or a fandom event announcement, and it was huge because it was like, oh my gosh, these guys are going to we're going to continue the animated series in like an updated format. It's
yeah,
exciting.
and they're going to have Batman look fucking old school like he
Yep.
did in the early days with the huge ears.
Yep.
But I mean, there hasn't been actually no real reason other than HBO just canceled it. They're canceling a lot of stuff over there. I think, we discussed this last time, budgets, constraints, and stuff like that. So that might be the reason, but it has nothing to do with politics or ideology in any other way, in any case. So now that I say that, though, I was kind of like in the middle with that. I'm like, some, I don't know, some things you just kind of you got to leave alone. And I was just afraid, especially with J.J. Abrams and his Star Wars stuff recently. Maybe it's good that they didn't. I don't know. We'll never know. But like, I don't want him to bring back and it's like fucking new Harley Quinn show and it's all that shit.
Yeah. So what happened is the Discovery Plus merger happened, and they cleaned house with a lot of shows that they didn't want to necessarily put money into. Um, and that came as surprising news, especially with the success of what the animated series was, and to have this trio, which is a pretty strong trio, and have Bruce Timm back. Obviously, he has some mixed reactions with his animated stuff as of late. However, they are shopping around, and Netflix and Amazon Prime are both interested in the show. So it'll definitely get picked up by somebody. And if it gets picked up by any of those two big houses, then it's definitely gonna be successful regardless, because I think people want to see what they're gonna do with it. We'll see what happens beyond season one, though.
Who do you think would pick it up? I think like Amazon. They'd probably snatch it up.
Them or Netflix. I think
Yeah.
either of them have a good shot. Either of them can be successful with it. So, Amazon just put a bunch of money into the Lord of the Rings series, billions of dollars. So I don't know if they want to. I mean, it's probably not going to be cheap, especially with those three guys there. So at least two of them, I mean, I'm sure Bruce Timm is probably the cheapest out of all three of those guys.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens. I agree with you with Abrams' work on Star Wars, and you can't necessarily blame him. I mean, that's part, but that's studio heads. A lot of that directing happens there, and not knowing what they were going to do after episode 7. But I mean, that's a whole nother different topic that we would have hours to spend on. So,
Yeah.
but something pretty exciting. We're going to move shifts and get out of the animated motion picture setting and move into comics. Here is a huge announcement happens that you, Rob, are extremely excited about, which is Batman and Spawn back together for the first time in how long? What was that, 90s?
Mid 90s, yeah. What first time they got together was with Frank Miller. And yeah, Todd and Frank Miller teamed up in the mid 90s for this one time only crossover. DC had a press release a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, I've counted like 10 or 15 variants so far. And variants can go on forever if they really want. Let's see who are some of the main guys though who may be interested. We have Francisco Matina. I apologize if I got his name wrong. Gabriel Del Otto, J. Scott Campbell, which we're both a fan of. Jason Fabok, who has in recent years become my new favorite Batman artist. I mean, he draws Batman like no other, in my opinion. He really got my attention with when the Three Jokers came out.
Yes.
He had to do like 20 variant covers. I bought all of them like a sucker. And all the variant covers were like the Joker and his different times in history, right? So you had, decades of different Jokers, but he also had, Red Hood and Batman and Batgirl and all those guys on the cover as well. But Fabok did a cover with him and Batman. That's going to be a 1 out of 25, semicolon 25. So that means when the comic book stores order these books, there's only going to be one of his book out of the 25 that they order. And there's a colored version and there's a black and white version. And it's one of the most standout covers I've seen so far, other than Capullo's so far. I mean, these have just been announced. They haven't shown most of them. But I'm really looking forward to that. I'll put that up. Trying to think who else. So like here's this. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but so these are open order, 1 out of 250 inked, 1 out of 666 weird signed,
Super weird.
and 1 out of 1,000 signed by McFarlane and Capullo. And then also 1 out of 666 signed, blah, 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 blah. All right. So forget what I just said there, but I mean, it's so crazy how many there are. So yeah, we have a ton of variants to look forward to. If anybody out there is into variants, I am. I'm a sucker for variants. So
Oh yeah, so am I. I mean, I think so. The Batman 1000, Detective Comics 1000. I think I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like 30 variants, all
Oh,
30 of them
shit.
that they came out with.
Yeah, I think I got like 3. That was a thick cover too, right?
There is a Batman Spawn Dark Knight Hellspawn Todd Father bundle for $4,000, Rob, if you want to just go that way.
Jesus Christ.
Which includes a Batman Spawn #1 one shot, 1 of 1,000 Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo signed variant. There's 1, 2, 3 signed variants and a Todd McFarlane inked variant. 1/100 Jim Lee variant. That's going to be awesome. I just love Jim Lee. Yeah, this is crazy for $4,000, but if you got it, it's out there.
It couldn't have come in like the worst time of the year, right? Hey,
Oh my gosh, I know. Here's Christmas.
What should I buy stuff for my family, or should I buy 4,000 books from Todd?
Yeah.
$4,000 worth of books by Todd. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll buy my family stuff next year, I guess. Sorry, guys. And then like you spend $4,000 and it gets to your house and it's all damaged. Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
That's always scary, right?
Okay, so again, big announcement there. Batman and Spawn facing off. They are facing off, right? They're not going to be partners in crime.
I'm not sure because in the Capullo cover, he's dragging.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think pretty sure I read a synopsis that the Court of Owls actually put up Batman to take out Spawn. So I think he's actually going after him, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably team up. They'll probably go against the Court of Owls if I were to guess.
Yeah, looking at that first cover though, it reminds me a little bit of DC Metal. Obviously, because obviously the art style, but the cover looks very similar to DC Metal. Basically, that statue that you have,
Mhm.
with the axe,
Yeah.
very similar.
They took a very unique color approach to that cover.
They did, because it should pop more, in my opinion, with the reds
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's more, yeah, like browns and dark reds.
Subtle, yeah.
So it's interesting. I never thought that looking in black and white. Cool.
No, I mean it is. It's going to be cool. The variants are going to be great. Um, and that's December, so folks, check it out. Come December, you can go on your favorite comic site and look at some of the variant covers that have been released. We will put some up in post production so you can see a few of them.
Maybe they'll announce some this weekend. It's New York Comic Con this weekend.
And they definitely will announce some stuff. So that'll be there should be some good news that comes out of that. So we'll be able to have a follow up episode of New York Comic Con. One other thing that did happen though in the DC front that I want to mention is they did announce that there will be no fandom this year.
Yep. Losers.
Which, yeah, I mean, I think they're doing that only because they're going to come back with something bigger. Because they're hopefully will have a structured layout of what's going to happen in their movies, because that's really what fandom should be all about. Or a lot of the big announcements for the movies come from there. And I did read that the one guy that they had expected to head DC movies, they're like Kevin Feige, he backed out. So they're still on the hunt. So that is not good news, in my opinion, because if the guy was like right on the cusp of agreeing to do it and then backed out, kind of makes me think or believe that we're still going to be in the same spot with DC movies where the studio is going to have all this fucking opinion on what should be happening, and then this guy won't be able to do his job. Whoever this guy, this girl won't be able to do their job. But
it's really unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate, yeah, because DC does need, just the head of a studio that can definitely direct these movies in the right direction.
Just think about it too. Like in my opinion, Marvel has been leading for years, but they've kind of tripped right now. So if like you're in a race and someone fell and tripped,
and now is when you can get ahead.
This is the time to get off the ground and move your ass.
Absolutely. So we're gonna keep following that, and we'll update you guys as we know what happens in that sort of DC movie realm. Moving on, though, we're gonna get into the Batman Who Collect. The Batman Who Collect. We collect Batman stuff. Batman stuff is what we collect, and there's some news where we collect stuff. Yeah. All right.
Got a jingle out there. Hit us up.
That was our little segue.
Yeah.
We're still working on it.
We should have Dub do the jingle.
You collect Batman stuff because I do too. All right. Well, this one was exciting for me. I can't wait to hear what Rob has to say about this. And I actually don't know why this is getting released again, but actually I do. It's Hot Toys. This is what they do. In celebration of Can't even say it right. In celebration of Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Yeah.
I guess the physical release,
That came
they
out a year
are
ago.
Hot Toys is releasing Batman in his tactical version of the suit towards the end of the movie. There, it is
Yeah.
a cool suit. Um, they had released it once already, but this one is definitely updated. The portrait is absolutely stunning. It looks just like Batfleck himself. And there has been a recent announcement that he's going to don the cape again. So maybe this is in celebration of that. Yeah, I mean, overall, the figure is absolutely beautiful. I definitely want it. The base is awesome. He's got one of the parademons that he's stepping on. He's got that like futuristic parademon gun with him. He's got the, I don't know. To me, as much as I love the tactical suit, all I can see is Owlman from Watchmen. It's almost identical looking suit because he's got the goggles.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Owlman has. He's got the fucking goggles. But it looks great. His portrait, it's incredible how much it looks. Hopefully, the final production pieces look this good, but plenty of accessories. Battle damage. Yeah, plenty of hands, and again, a bunch of different portraits. But will I pre-order it? Probably not. I will probably just hold out and see when it actually comes out, which is probably 2.5 years from now. Um, and you know, if Sideshow has some and I stumble upon it, I would love to grab it. But we'll put some pictures in there in post production so you can see it. But it's definitely an impressive piece, and Hot Toys always has really great photography with their figures. Um, I
I
don't know if
just
we
don't. I don't see him ever making that face in the movie. Do you?
you know what? And they always put that portrait in there. Um, but one of the great things about Hot Toys is the photography is great, but for you to pose your Hot Toys figure like that once you get it in your hands is always the challenging part because I don't know about you. Well, actually, I do know about you because we've talked about this, but I feel like I'm going to break something. So I try to get it in the like coolest pose I can without moving the joints too much. So yeah. There's one great picture though where he's got the cape, and it looks like they've redesigned the cape a little bit on this figure. And it's wavy, it's beautiful, but I will wait for the Batman Hot Toys figure that I have pre-ordered to get here before I think about getting this one. But it is beautiful, and we'll put some pictures up.
It's amazing as much as they charge you for the figure that they don't give a shit about their capes. Isn't
No,
that
and
crazy?
we've complained about that for a long time, and they just
It's like if you're gonna put that much attention to detail of everything else, I mean, just
well, especially that 4 scale Dark Knight figure that we have. I actually purchased the cape from eBay.
did you?
That just hangs perfectly, and it looks wonderful. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
seen a guy recently that I want to buy a cape from, but it's like, $75 and you gotta wait like months to get it. I'm like, damn, do I really want a cape?
yeah, they custom make them, on the fly. So, but yeah, Hot Toys Tactical Batfleck. You pre-order it on Sideshow, Big Bad Toy Store, wherever you get your toys.
It's gonna cost you your first child.
And moving on, Rob, you and I got some pretty fantastic news in our email, something that I know that I didn't expect. And I said, "What?
Yeah.
Why are they emailing me right now? What could this be?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? It's probably the Batman poster that I had pre-ordered back when the movie came out." But sure enough, it wasn't. Rob, what was it?
So we made a little purchase 2 months ago, 3 months ago, lost track of the months, of the
Oh,
Mondo
Comic-Con.
exclusive Batman animated series, 1/6 scale figures. But when we ordered them, it said it wasn't supposed to be here till February. Like, oh fuck, we got a long time to wait. And then it's like 7 o'clock on a Wednesday, and I get an email. Hey, by the way, we just shipped out your stuff. Oh, sweet. All right, I'll see you next week.
What a
And then
pleasant
just like that,
surprise.
wow, how do you jump from February to beginning of October? I'm not complaining. It's
No,
awesome.
no, yeah. When you said, I was like, man, not getting these till February. Maybe I should just cancel. But then, like, I forgot about them, and I'm glad I didn't. And sure enough, they're going to be here, and that's exciting. I don't know how that happened because I very, very rarely does anything like that happen. Usually, it's delayed more. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, hey, we're going to have these shipped to you in February. Actually, you know what? Here's October. Here they are. So I'm not sure if maybe they had a few, if they, because they had, was Joker available at San Diego Comic Con?
Uh, None of them physically in person, but the exclusive, no, that was only online.
Okay. Because I was going to say maybe they had some leftovers from San Diego and they're finally were able to go through those.
Mm.
And there was like a first come, first serve. So if you ordered those, you know, they would ship them out and then everybody else would have to wait type of thing. But
If they did, they're gone that first Thursday.
sure. And of
So
course, you always have to over order on that just in case some are damaged. So
yeah, it's incredible because like when we ordered that one, or when you ordered the quarter scale Hot Toys Batman in 2013 or whatever, it took like 6.5 years. You know, or they realistically they did delayed it what, a year and a half. So for us to come from there and then stuff get shipped out 6 months earlier, it's definitely a surprise.
it is.
So
Hopefully that happens with the Batman.
I just hope I have enough. I have enough real estate to put these fuckers at.
Well, I think you're going to make the real estate because those are prime pieces, and we will have full reviews
Absolutely.
as we receive them, which should be this first week in October here. So that is exciting, but you also got more exciting memorabilia in the mail. You tell the folks at home listening for the
Yeah.
millions and millions of the Batmen Who Pod fans about your recent pickup
Oh man.
or
This is
haul,
gonna go
whatever you want to call
one
it.
of one of two ways. Are we talking about the man or are we talking about the book? You lost me at man.
You lost me at cabin.
Inside joke.
Yeah,
So
go with the
I
book.
got my CGC back. Yeah, 9.4.
It
You
really
can't
shows up beautifully on here.
Oh, it turns out great, right? I'll put
Really
in
can capture the essence.
I get it. Hey, I tell you what, I'm a cool guy, so I'm gonna do this for you.
Cool guy, Paul.
Paul Levesque.
All of us.
Jesus H.
Oh man, this guy's got a million backgrounds.
There you go.
There it is. Look at that beautiful, beautiful piece of art. What did the grade come back at? 9.4. Beautiful.
I was so taken back by that. I
And
expected like a 7.
who are the John Hancocks on there? Is that yours?
Mine.
Is that your signature on there?
No, it's Capullo and Snyder.
I know. It's
Sorry, I'm slow today. Yes, and I signed it myself, just to make myself feel important.
this is a Batman number 5 for Batman number 6, signed by Rob Ripsky. CGC graded.
Can you imagine if I did that? Like, what the
Dude, you should totally sign a random Batman book and then get it CGC graded for the signature series. And
Like,
put it
wow,
on eBay and see if anybody
this is incredible.
one of one Rob Ripsky signed Batman
This is-
17.
This is a Jason Fabok and Rod Ripsky
Oh, wow.
signature series. I'm gonna pivot over real fast though, and I just want to say we've only
Real quick,
had
real
I
quick.
had-
I'm going to interrupt
yeah.
you one more time though. What's the journey on that book? Was that one that you got signed and then immediately sent to CGC? Tell people about that process. What was that
Sorry
like?
about. So when they announced it for Comic-Con, I'm like, okay, I don't have that book. And I'm not gonna find it at Comic-Con or even for a reasonable price. So I went on eBay. I looked for the most reasonable price. I think I found it for $100. And I wanted to have it look decent too. I didn't want to buy a piece of shit and then have him grade it. So yeah, I got a reasonable condition, got it sent to me. I paid for CGC online ahead of time. When I went to Comic-Con, they had their own booth, and I just handed all the paperwork and the book to them, and they just said, the girl looked so relieved. She's like, "You did the work already? Oh, thank you." Because like, you got people there walking up,
Yep.
trying to type on their computers, going, oh, book, oh, sign, what I do, oh yeah. So like, I come up there with my books all prepared. She goes, "Oh my God, thank you so much." But yeah, so that was the process. And I dropped it off, waited a good 6-7 weeks, and then got it mailed back to me.
Beautiful. And we'll leave the link for CGC below. They are definitely a great resource to know about. Usually your local comic shop should be able to send books off for you if they're CGC partners.
Speaking of CGC, if you're a fan, like I am, of Tom McFarlane, he's going to be doing a CGC again. He's going to be heading down there first week of November to sign books. So you have a deadline up until the end of this month to send your books to CGC of his stuff if you want him to get it signed, if you guys are interested at all.
And you take a shot. We will leave the link below with that information in case you do want to send something for Todd to sign. The Todd Father. All right, now, before I interrupted you, Rob, you had something else that you were going to pan over to us and show.
Yep. So we've had a handful of episodes on here so far, and I come on here and I talk about for our viewers to go out and buy stuff, and I just buy my own bullshit, and I go out and buy the stuff that I tell other people to buy. So a few episodes back, I mentioned about the new 1/6 scale Dark Knight that Hot Toys released, and well, I sold some stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy this. So sure enough, I went out and got them. Here we go. As I break it, watch. Whoa.
He is completely redesigned body, head sculpt, everything, right? This isn't just a re-release.
No, like this is top notch. Like I looked at the past models and you can see the true evolution of how far we've come. Probably doesn't do any justice, but even the cowl looks straight out of the movie. Oh shit.
Oh my gosh. And it was all over just then. Now, did you pick this up from Sideshow, local comic shop? Where'd you get this bad boy at?
Right off sideshow.com. So,
link below.
And I wanted a version with no cape, right on top of the building in Tokyo. So that's the approach I'm going with.
And what do you have the quarter scale doing?
Quarter scale is just a museum pose, arms by the side.
Okay.
Hey, where's the trigger? You fuck. I said, where's the trigger? Oh wait, I'm holding it right now. My bad. So yeah, that's my precious for you. I'll put a better picture in post, but try not.
Precious. Stupid hobbitses. No, congratulations, man. I know that.
Congratulations on your company.
That was eating at your brain for a while because you kept sending it to me. You'd be like, "Did you see this?" Yes, I saw it. It's a re-release. It's not just a re-release. It's a new figure.
Yeah, I saw it for the 5th time, Rob. Leave me alone. I'm at work.
Finally, you send pictures of the real thing, and he had to pull the trigger, folks. And that's what it's like to be a collector, because once you see something that you like, it literally sits in your brain, in the back of your head, until you just buy it. So
it's the worst. That's why I try not to go out as much anymore, because I go out and find something, it'll just fuck with me the whole week.
Exactly. Well, no, it's a beautiful piece. I'm looking forward to seeing some updated pictures. And that'll do it for the Batman Who Collect. And folks, we're going to move on to a new segment called Bat Art, Bat Art. It's people that draw Batman, people that draw Batman, Batman.
I like to
And
draw.
welcome back to Bat Art. And in today's segment, we are going to be talking about a wonderful artist. And no, it's not Chris Ripsky, folks, but he is here live in person.
It's me.
Rob, who are we going to be talking about in our artist spotlight today?
So I, just happened to come across a Batman fan site, and this one guy makes scenes from The Dark Knight, but in Batman animated series form. And I went and looked up this guy. Game Rant's got a whole article about him after I went to go look for it. You just type in Dark Knight animated series art. And he's an artist on Instagram. I'll spell it out for you. It's lj.artham. So that's L. Fuck.
We're going to go ahead and put the link in the bottom in post production, and you guys can click that.
L.ARTK Ham. And yeah, he's very, very talented. And he does multiple scenes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 direct scenes from The Dark Knight in animated series form. Like this one I didn't see. This is we have Batman hanging upside down. This is a good one in the hospital. But I'll put those in post for you guys to see, not on a phone like this. But
Dog chasing
But on-
cars.
What will I do if I just catch one?
No, you had sent me those. You sent me the dinner scene one, and then obviously the bank scene pictures, and they were absolutely stunning. Obviously, it hits different for us because of the animated series, and they're just stunning and well done. So props to him.
That's our crutch, the animated series.
It is. I'm still waiting for Target for that New York Comic Con exclusive to just be available since I missed the pre-order because somebody didn't text me. Let me know if it's available.
Sorry.
All right, that'll do it for our new kind of spotlight on the artists, and we're going to continue to dive into artists that we kind of come across and see as we're scrolling through the interwebs. And next, it's a little bit of everybody's favorite Batpedia. Fun facts about Batman. Fun facts about the Batman. So this is an interesting one. Did you know, believe it or not Ripley's believe it or not, that pop legend Andy Warhol directed the first Batman movie?
Really?
Really? Though it wasn't endorsed by
Not at all.
DC, the movie was Batman Dracula, and it was released in 1964.
Holy shitballs. I can't
Go
believe
ahead
I
and look that one
across
up.
it before.
And that's very interesting. I did not know about that.
That's
Bear with me
awesome.
here. Yeah. Batman Dracula is a 1964 black and white American superhero fan film produced and directed by Andy Warhol without the permission of DC Comics. Mind blown. So, folks, go ahead and do some research on yourself. I'm sure you can find it. YouTube may have a copy or two. And something else I thought was interesting that Rob will love, I'm sure, that Ben Affleck nearly didn't take the role of Batman because of the advice he received from ex-Cape Crusader George Clooney.
Well, I can see that. George Clooney was also directed by a terrible director. Well, I wouldn't go say maybe it's terrible. Okay, well that movie was terrible. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want. I just hate the fucking. He's dead and all. So I want to see him like a piece of shit. But that was a terrible movie. I think we can all agree on that in unison.
There's something to like in all those movies, though. That's what I'll say.
Freeze. Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
Yes. So those are the two facts that I got. Rob, did you have anything else?
Here's a fact about Batpedia today is that Rob doesn't have a fact.
That's okay. We don't need a fact, Rob. It's all good. We had a couple facts. We'll take care of that in post-production. But folks, we are Rob's tired. He had a long work night, so we are in different time zones. So it's nearly noon by me and only 10 a.m. by Rob. So
And I slept 4 hours.
and you slept 4 hours, so you should probably get to sleep. But and closing remarks, folks.
But I do it for the love of the show.
Does it for the love of the show, for the people. We do it for you guys. Hopefully you have some fun when you're listening to us. But that'll really wrap it up for us today, folks. We had a really good time with you. Again, the news is a little dry, but we're going to have some news coming out of New York Comic Con, and then we'll keep you posted as things go along. We do have a big video game release coming out with Gotham Knights. I think Rob's going to be playing that day one. He's going to do live streams on Twitch. Catch Rob on his live stream. Sit there, talk with him, mingle with him, whatever. Maybe I'll pop in, say hi.
It's funny you say that because I probably won't play that game till December.
So Rob will be playing that game in December.
Get so much stupid right now.
So yeah, folks, please stick with us. We're going to have some great content as we go along here. But we really appreciate you coming out, listening to us. And Rob, you have anything else you have to say?
Yes. Was that a New York accent?
That's the New York accent. I don't know. It just started happening. I went with it and I'm keeping with it.
Well, it goes well because it's New York Comic Con weekend. So
That's right. That's why we do it here. That's why we do it. And when the notification bell hits, Rob,
It's not just a conversation.
it's a podcast. Thanks, folks. We really enjoy you being here. Stick with us. We're going to come back with some big content.
And
Peace.
if you like to buy some prints from yours truly, you head over to @Chris_Ripsky_Art, or just head over there and give me a like, give me a follow. Tell me
If
to
you like
fuck
that
off.
plug, buy something from this guy. Buy something from him.
Please.
He's got some
Good
great art.
stuff.
See this little photo behind us in our background? You can buy that from him. We'll sign it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I drew that, and if you guys really want, yeah, we can both sign that, and we can send that off. There you go.
Beautiful. There we go. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you.
All right. Later.